is Megan Radford, and I've always loved the stories of Cinderella. So I did some library and I found us a different version of Cinderella, and it is called Fair, Brown, and Trembling, an Irish Cinderella story. And it's by Jude Daly. So I'll tell this to our wonderful audience. And within this castle, there was 3 sisters, Fair, Brown, and Trembling, and a widower. Every Sunday, the sisters would go off to church, but leave Trembling behind. And these Fair and Brown would wear lavish, beautiful dresses, and Trembling was stuck with the ugly old clothes, and would have to do the household chores, and the cooking, and the dishes, while Fair and Brown went out to church. One Sunday, the henwife came in and asked Trembling, "Why are you at church? You should be with the rest of the young women out there." Trembling replied back and said, "You know, sadly I can't. I don't have any nice clothing. All I have is ugly dresses. And if my sisters found me, I would never be out. I could never go outside ever again." So all I'm going to do is I'm going to make you a dress that is so beautiful that everyone will be jealous of it. So she went and while she asked Trembling to imagine a beautiful dress, she went around and cut little clips of the other dresses Trembling had. While she was doing this, Trembling sat back and imagined a dress that was white as snow, down to her floor, and just a beautiful silk. She imagined wearing these green slippers, but not just any green, shamrock green. All of a sudden, she looks over and the henwife is in this dark, mysterious coat. She's saying a few words, takes off the coat, and what do you think? There is the exact dress that Trembling was imagining. A long, beautiful white dress with green slippers. She puts it on, so excited. There is a white stallion to take her to church. She just cannot believe her eyes and just feels so beautiful. She gets on the white stallion and goes off into the sunset towards the church. But while looking back, she's saying thank you, but the henwife is yelling words of concern, warning her, telling her that she must never enter the church. She must stay outside the gates of the church, and once the mass is over, she must come immediately back home. So she goes to church, and she follows the henwife's rules, stands right at the gates, but of course the men, the women, the kids inside the mass keep on looking back and staring at this mysterious woman. Once the mass is over, she gets on her white horse and heads back home, right in time to change into her ugly outfit, and then to start cooking dinner for her 2 sisters. Her 2 sisters walk in and they just look mean and puzzled. They're just angry. The henwife goes, "What's the news? What's wrong with your faces?" The 2 sisters sit down and say, "You know what? The men didn't look at us at all. The men were staring at these beautiful women who was outside the gates with her gorgeous dress." Fair looks around and says, "You know what? We gotta find ourselves a dress like that." So the next day they go into town of Erin. They look far and low, they look from the east and the west of the mountains, trying to find the exact material for this beautiful dress to represent, or to, I guess, mock, as you could say, the same dress that this mysterious woman had. But to their surprise, that material was nowhere to be found. The next Sunday comes, and the 2 sisters go to church, and Trembling is sitting, cooking her food, and sitting down thinking and imagining a beautiful black satin dress with scarlet red pumps. And she's imagining these beautiful heels that are so red, and it's like the devil's red. So she sits there and she's imagining this beautiful dress, while the henwife is clipping little pieces of her old dresses, puts on this mysterious black coat, and voila, there is Trembling's dress. It's her black satin dress and those red scarlet shoes. Trembling again feels beautiful and just gorgeous. So the henwife goes, "Okay, now here's your pick. What kind of horse do you want?" "I want a horse that is so black and glossy that I can see my reflection in it while driving off into church." So she goes outside, and to her surprise, there's her black stallion. She gets on her horse, goes to church, and again, the men, the women, the kids are not even paying attention to the priest. keep on looking back towards the gates of the church and wondering who this mysterious woman is. So she, after Mass ends, gets on her horse and runs back home, right in time before her sisters come. Her sisters come in and they're having dinner, they're serving them dinner, and the hen wife goes, "Okay, what's the news for today? How is church?" And Brown looks at Fair and goes, "You know, that mysterious woman was still there, but she had a different dress on. And the men, again, do you imagine our beautiful dresses?" Fair goes, "You know, I think she's the most prettiest woman of all of Erin." Trembling is smiling while she's pouring them their food. The next Sunday comes, and this Sunday was unlike any other Sunday. The hen wife surprised Trembleina with a gorgeous dress. It was all white on the top and then had a high red skirt that went all the way down to her shoes. And she had blue slippers and then a big hat full of red, yellow, white, and green feathers. She goes outside to get her horse, thinks it might be a white horse, but instead it was a horse that was covered with blue and gold diamonds. Gets on her horse and goes to church. But this time it was different. All the princes from the entire land, from the east, from the west, to the north, to the south, heard of this beautiful woman, and they wanted to go to church to meet her and hope that they could marry this woman. So she's at church, the Mass ends, she's in a hurry to get home in time so the sisters don't catch her, but then the Prince Emmanuel runs right up next to her, grabs her blue slipper before she could think of it. So she gets home, she's changing into her ugly old clothes, and realizes that her blue slipper's gone. In a frantic, she starts, giving her sisters the food, but trying to think of where this shoe was gone. Well, hills across some miles away, next to the church, there's the prince, and he is kind of bragging to the other princes how he has a blue slipper, and that he's going to find this mysterious woman, and he's going to marry her. But the other princes are saying, "No, wait, we want her too." So they decide that what they're going to do is that they're going to fight, and whoever wins will win the bride. So all the princes get together and go from house to house to house, trying to find the woman who will fit into the shoe. There's even a lady who cut off her big toe to see if she could fit into the shoe, but that was still no use. Well, back at the castle, there was Fair and Brown, and they were all excited, trying to brag who's going to win the prince and which foot is going to fit the shoe better. Well, Trembleina's in the background, imagining, thinking, "Wow, what if I'm the one? What if that's my slipper? What if I win?" Well, Fair and Brown overhear this, and they go, "How stupid are you? Of course you're not going to be the one to win the prince over." Well, they hide her into the cupboard, right in time as the prince comes. The prince comes, and of course, by surprise, both sisters, their shoe doesn't fit. The feet don't fit the shoe. So he goes, wait, the prince is hopeless, thinking, there has to be one other woman in this household. Through the cupboard, there's a small dainty voice, and going, "Yes, there's one more lady, Looks over to Fair and Brown, and he goes, "Who's that in the cupboard?" "Oh, it's just someone, just the ashes. Don't worry about it. You're fine. You can leave now." He goes, "No, I want to see her now." So the prince goes, opens the cupboards. Trembleina comes walking out, puts on the shoe, and it fits like a glove. It was perfect. The prince gazes into her eyes, and he goes, "Oh my goodness, you're her. You're my bride. You are the mysterious woman we've all been searching for." The prince is so excited to know that he's found the love of his life and his bride. But the other princes come marching in, demanding that they will fight for this bride. So the war went on for 3 days. The first day, it was the Prince of Emmanuel and the Prince of Lockville. They fought, but of course, the Prince of Lockville, he didn't win because the Prince of Emmanuel was so strong that he beat him. Then, the second day, the Prince of Spain came. Well, by the sixth hour, he was so exhausted, he said, "You know what? You win. I'm out." On the third day, the Prince of Blue came. He thought he was so strong and so warrior, he could beat this mysterious prince, the legendary warrior. Nope, didn't work. For the 6th hour, he also just gave up and said, "You know what? She is yours." On the 4th day, no one else came. So it was decided that Trembleina would marry the Prince of Emmanuel. They lived happily ever after. They had 14 kids, and she was so happy that she never could imagine being this happy ever before. You might ask whatever happened to Fair and Brown. Well, it is said that they were put on a barrel and out to sea, and they were never ever seen ever again. So thank you guys for this story.